And we are back after
Dun-dun-dun.
a brief hiatus. Another brief hiatus, because apparently we like to take vacations, you know.
Well,
In Candy's defense, she had the plague. In my defense, I had some like dramas going on around me, so I could not record. And then like our heating went out, and then our fridge went out, and I'm just like, really? My sister asked me like, did your husband like open, did he like, kick open some sort of magic circle and release a demon? And I'm like, I'm starting to wonder.
hey, fish brains.
Huh?
We had an episode last week as normal. Just saying.
It's true. We did.
We did.
We
in
did.
case you forgot.
I did.
Fish brains.
Well, you know what? It's the COVID times.
It is.
Time stretches now. So this has been the last, this has been like the longest 20 years of my life since March.
And somehow we made a 15-minute conversation last an hour last time. So
it's true. I think it was 2 hours, wasn't it? It was like,
well, we filmed an hour.
Yeah. Oh, I have to show you. So we've been like revisiting Gravity Falls, right?
Excellent.
And I found this online. It's a Bill Cipher bracelet.
No way.
Yeah. So I'm like,
nice.
And I found a Bill Cipher keychain that lights up. So I am just in my glory. And my son was like, so can I have this to put on my Chromebook? And I'm like, I don't understand why you'd need to put a keychain on your Chromebook. And
also mine.
Yeah, and he's like, well, like to put on my Chromebook. I was like, I feel like this is going to be more of a distraction at school than an educational aid.
Yeah.
And he was like, you could see, like, all of a sudden he was just caught. And he was like, and I'm like, yeah, dude, no, you're not getting my Bill Ciphers. You're not putting a triangle demon on your Chromebook. I'm sorry. You're not putting a Disney triangle demon.
You have a triangle demon at home.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna play with the triangle demon at home, the Disney triangle demon. So yeah, that happened. And I knew that was gonna happen. Like the second I ordered it, I was just like, yeah, he's gonna try and usurp this from me. And I'm shocked that he hasn't tried to steal my Darkwing Duck yet. I also have a Darkwing Duck keychain. Because
I don't do keychains. I have the Funko Pop figurines.
Yeah.
And so I have, who do I have up there? I have the Fallout Boy from
Simpsons?
No, I lost the word. The game. Fallout.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
I was like, why can't I figure it out? Like, what's wrong with me? I have Bucky Barnes as a Winter Soldier. I have Doc Brown because obviously. I have a little dude from Assassin's Creed. I have the Hulk. I have I'm looking at them. I have a Harley Quinn. I have a Batman. I have a Wolverine. I have a problem.
You do, a little bit. I mean, I've got like a Dalek, and I've got Negaduck from Darkwing Duck.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Negaduck glows in the dark, which I find fabulous because
that is fabulous. That's extremely fabulous.
It is. So, but today we were not going to talk about our Funko Pop obsessions, or our Disney cartoon obsessions,
or
our pop culture obsessions, because we could fill episodes of that.
Right. We were going to talk about how we met because it may appear that we've known each other since toddlerhood. However, it's only been about 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2013.
Goddamn. Yeah.
2014, yeah. But at the same time, we have apparently known each other much longer than that. And so now, we're going to tell the magic story. So, cult membership aside, which we jokingly call it a cult. It's not actually, it's kind of a cult.
It's a cult.
Only if you let it be a cult. Yeah, which, it was fun while it lasted. And then, one day you're like,
it did what it was meant to do. I made some excellent friends from it, and that's all I need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so that's actually how we connected again.
Yes.
And it turned out, so backing it up to, I guess, like my side of it was I'd been having these dreams for years, and most of them since 16 I started dreaming about Glastonbury tour, and I had never seen Glastonbury tour. This is pre-internet, like, late 80s, early 90s, started dreaming about Glastonbury tour, and had no clue what it was. And all I remember seeing is this like big hill and this big giant like gothic-y, churchy looking bell tower thingy on top of it. And so I kept having these dreams that centered around this thing, and I was like, I have no clue what this thing is. And I kept dreaming about, like, it was Stonehenge but not in a field. Like, Stonehenge I knew, but it wasn't Stonehenge in the field. It was like Stonehenge in the woods, like not far from this tower. And then, fast forward all these years, and all of a sudden I started dreaming about underneath that tower in the hill. And there was just all these caves and tunnels and stuff like that that all led into this ruined church. And there was these people there. And so, all these dreams were kind of sequentially recurring, where every dream picked up from where the last one left off. And I was just like, wow, this is really weird. And as I'm like getting out there, and I'm meeting more people on Facebook and stuff like that. And so as I'm talking with Candy one day, I was just like, this is really weird. Feel like I've known you forever. And I was telling her about these dreams that I had, and all of a sudden she's like, and this thing. And I was like, oh my God. And she remembered the dreams, like being there in the dream. And I was just like, holy crap.
So walking along the river and sitting in the forest and going in the caves where we all lived, and yeah.
Oh yeah, it was bizarre, and it was just like,
we were besties then too.
What's that?
We were besties then too.
Oh yeah, totally. More than besties.
We were something.
It's complicated. Complicated by modern standards. Back then,
very complicated. Yeah.
Back then it was like, what else? But yeah, so all this stuff later, and we've met more people from that dream group. There was 13 of us in all, and we have met 5 or 6 now. I think it's up to. We got you, me.
I thought it was 7.
7 kind of shifts. There's like one who's like there but not there, and I'm wondering if they're actually like part of that
adjacent.
Yeah, like there's a lot of adjacent people, but there's like 5 of us so far that are from that inner cave dwelling. Cave dwelling.
And more than just the caves for some of us.
Yes. We won't go into that story.
No. It's mine to tell, but not entirely mine to tell. So.
Yes. There's the other half of it too, and the tower. But
yeah.
But yeah,
like I said, mine to tell, but not mine to tell.
A lot of that initial stuff has kind of been brought over into my writing, where it's almost like an automatic writing, but not an automatic writing. But it's just really weird how we like reconnected. And then when we finally met in person in New York,
that was some shit. Like, that was wild.
So backstory on that one, I'm like, I love New York. New York is my city. That's like my patron city.
And I was like, yeah, it's a train ride away.
And so so I was there for a conference, and Candy's like, right there too. So I took the train out for the conference, and we decided we'd meet up in New York. And, Candy's like, I'm not really big on the city. It's really unfriendly. And I'm like, why does everybody say this? And then finally I figured out why everybody's saying this. And I'll let you tell that part, because I don't notice it.
Suzi has this thing about her where people just want to do things for her. As an example, we arrived in New York City and Penn Station, and we finally linked up, which was weird because she was on the floor above me at the Amtrak area, and I was down. And
You were on the
I
upstairs
was
floor.
up. Well, no, but we started out. You were
I couldn't
upstairs, and
find
I
you.
was downstairs,
I couldn't
and
find
then
the upstairs.
we switched.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I couldn't find the stairs for like the longest time, and I think I ended up going on a ramp or something to get up there.
yeah,
I
and
don't remember how I got up there.
I
But
actually had to get one of the soldiers that wander around, and I was like, "Hey, look."
and he was like,
He
"Oh,
was
that
like,
chick we've been standing next to this whole
yeah,
time."
basically, he was like, "Oh, she's right over there." I was like, "Oh yeah, there she is."
And the funniest part is they knew who you were talking about.
They knew exactly what I was talking about, and they talked to me like I've known them for a while, but that's like a soldier thing, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like I said, Susie has people just wanting to do things for her naturally. She doesn't have friends, she has staff. And so I was like, okay, like, no, mind you, I have my stuff in my backpack. I'm carrying things. I was like, let me help you with your bags. And she gives me the heaviest one. And I was like, yeah, okay, that works. This makes sense.
You
With
asked.
my broken back and neck and knee and hips. And, and I was happy. No, but the thing is I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, yeah, okay, this makes sense. Absolutely. And so we're leaving, and Susie is just blithely walking in a straight line, which is impossible in New York City in the before times because it's crowded. Even on days when it's not busy, it's crowded. And she's just walking in a straight line, and I'm watching, and people are getting out of her way. And Susie, for all of her stature, walks very quickly. So I'm used to walking quickly as well, but as soon as Susie passed, people would close behind her. I was directly behind her and had to like throw elbows and be like, excuse me, to get through, like you do in the city, or like everybody else does in the city. And
I've only had to do it once, and
she
it was
turned
because the
around,
guy was on his phone.
I don't know how many times, irritated as piss, because she was talking to me and I wasn't answering. And I was like 6 people behind her because they kept getting in front of me. And she was like, what the hell? And so we did an experiment and proved the theory that she could just walk straight and people will move, and I could not do that.
Well, I think we
Nobody
ended up
else
holding
around
hands
us could
after
do that.
that, so you'd stay behind me.
Say that again?
I think we ended up holding hands after that, so that way it wouldn't like close back up.
We did, and then they still tried to close back up, and I was like, I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
But the funniest thing was when it started raining.
That was
And
pretty
everybody else was like, no. And Susie and I are like, let's skip through the puddles.
It was a good time. I mean,
It
we had
was a good time. And then we got to the hotel, which was fabulous. It had amazing sculptures in the entryway, and I was like, ooh, fancy. And I was happy about it. There's water feature and stuff. It was like a nice hotel. And then,
the goddess
everybody,
crater.
yeah, everybody wanted to do things for Susie, and we were leaving, like when we finally were ready to leave after we had our New York adventure.
Well, no, this was before we left because we met Goddess Caffeina in the elevator on the second day.
Yeah, and we were like
So
bitchy because we wanted coffee.
Yeah, and I specifically said I don't want to pay for my coffee. In fact,
You
throw some
did.
breakfast in there too.
Oh my God. You did.
I did.
In the room. In the room. You were like, I don't want to pay for my coffee today and throw breakfast in. And I was like, Susie,
like, we're in New York. You
can't just say you don't want to pay for your coffee.
Yeah, I can.
And get coffee. You gotta. And we had an actual argument about it, like not like a fight, but it was like, no, you can't just say that you don't want to pay for your coffee and get coffee. You're in New York City. They aren't going to just give you the coffee. This isn't Pennsylvania where you live. People are not friendly. And we get in the elevator and this bitch strikes up a conversation with this woman who was like tall and stately and beautiful, and she was wearing all gold and like a caramel brown.
Yeah, like she
She's
was dressed up like
absolutely,
a latte.
yeah, she's absolutely beautiful, probably 20, 30 years older than us. And she gave me strong B. Arthur vibes, but not like judgy B. Arthur, nice B. Arthur. And she was like, "Oh, you guys grown up, you girls, no, you girls gonna be here for a while?" And I was like, talking to you. Susie was like, "Yeah, we are. We're gonna be here another day or two." And she's like, "Oh, well, I have all these breakfast passes." And I'm like, "No, she didn't."
Hold
This
on.
woman
I
had
think I have it here
vouchers for free breakfast with a beverage,
from Starbucks.
and she, and she had 4 of them. So we got breakfast and coffee that day, and we had vouchers for breakfast and coffee the next day.
Yes,
I
we
was
did.
fuming. I was fuming for like an hour. I was so mad.
My sister and I have had this same discussion, and I told her she was crazy. And we were at a flea market up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and she was like, "Oh, well, you just get stuff handed to you," and I was like, "I absolutely do not." And she
You
goes, "Yes, you
absolutely
do."
do. You
And I was like,
absolutely do.
I was like, "I will prove it." And she goes, "Fine, prove it." She goes, find one of these stands with something that that's not something that you actually want." And I was like, "Okay." And so I like walked along, and I saw a green candy dish, and I was like, "Fine, that." And she's like, "Okay, fine." And she goes, "And there's a girl running the stand, so good." And so
Doesn't
I
matter.
I walk up, and I'm like, "Excuse me, how much for the green candy dish?" And it was 50 cents. I knew damn well it was 50 cents. And I asked her, "How much for the candy dish?" And the girl goes, "Oh, hold on a second, Dad." And her dad goes walking out of like their van, and he looks at it, and he goes, "It's 50 cents." I was like, "It's a little much. I've only got like, 25." And he's like, "I'll give it to you for 25, and I'll throw in all these other things too." And I was like, "No, I just want the candy dish." And he's like, "Okay, 10 cents, and I'll throw in all these other things." And my sister is fuming next to me because she's like, "You basically got it for free." And I paid 10 cents for it.
And see, we tell you this, and you say, "No, no, no." And then we go to make you prove it, and you prove it and then some, and you don't see the problem.
I feel like if my sister had wanted something, I could have used my powers to help her too. That's my belief. And she refused because she said somehow it was cheating. And I was like, "It's not cheating."
It's not cheating, it's just manipulating energy. And I mean, I joke about how mad it makes me, but that's how I
You didn't
become
complain that day that we got free coffee and bread.
well, yeah, but I mean, that's how also by saying like really like sitting down and saying, "You know what? I want things to grow this year and I want to have a supplier for this and I want to do that." And then what, a week later?
And I was like, "I think you should get some Caribbean calcite."
And then within 2 days, guess what I had? So, I mean, I can do it too, just not to the degree. I have to actually think about it. You just do it.
I don't think about it at all. It's just there.
You think about it at all?
Well, I would love to just manifest, best-selling books or something, but that doesn't happen. Apparently, I can only do tangible things. I can't do, meta things.
Well, uh, because it's more than one person that you have to focus on, I think.
Yeah, I think maybe that's it,
You
is,
can do micro and not macro.
yeah, I can't do, I think there's a proximity thing too, maybe.
Yeah.
Like I need to be closer or something. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
I'm loving your background right now because it looks like you've got this leaf halo going on.
I do.
You do.
It's great, right? I
It
love it.
is. It's awesome.
Yeah. Got on eBay.
Nice. Love
Mhm.
eBay.
Me too.
But yeah, so I mean, here it doesn't work as well. Like
Hmm.
here it's kind of off and on.
Yeah.
The
It
city, I
depends
tend to
on,
have better mojo.
I feel like, well,
North.
see, that's the thing. When I am too crowded, I can't do the thing. But when I'm like out in the country and like where it's not crowded and I can just be free and not be stressed out by having too many people around, I can do all the things. I have a witness that I can do the things.
Indeed. And
Indeed.
I mean, like, I think it's also location because upstate New York, Poconos, and New York City, I can do the things.
Hmm.
So it's country, mountains, and city, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, yeah, wide open spaces, and then Jesus, England, man.
I've never been there, so
I'm zinging when I'm there.
oh,
Like,
sure. I was thinking while you were there.
yeah.
I was just like, please go to sleep.
I'm too excited to sleep. Simon was saying the same thing. There were nights where I was up like literally all night. And he would be like, can you just please go to
You're like, no, I'm on a different time zone. And I'm crazy.
bed? I have all this energy. Ah.
Yeah, I apparently have been waking up every night at 3 a.m. for 20 minutes. So I didn't do it last night. Of course, the one night that I actually had the sleep recorder app turned on.
So you think you have a ghost?
I think that's another conversation for another episode.
I think it could be.
Boom. There we go. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, like, subscribe, comment, get us on the algorithm.
Yeah. Manifest that bestsellerness for both of us. Candy's got stones to smuggle.
I do. I
But
have
not smuggle. They're
I'm
actually
not, no, they're actually like legal. I'm not smuggling, but it's just funny to say that I am.
sounds hysterical to say that you're
It's just, yeah.
absolutely breaking
Because
international
like,
law.
yeah, like, right? Like,
Yeah, like you're some sort of rock boss.
I know when I'm like the most rule following bitch you would ever meet.
It's true.
That's another subject for another time too. Things that you wouldn't expect.
Next time.
Next time. Same bat time, same Suzi
That
channel.
channel.